Hello, my name is Monica Suyo, and welcome to another episode of our Royal Reality Podcast. Believe it or not, we are in season 2, and today is our first episode about once a dream, now a reality. I have a special guest that will take us through the journey of how Cristo Rey started and how we're doing and what she's dreaming about Cristo Rey. Again, my name is Monica Suyo. I'm the Director of Recruitment and Community Engagement, and this podcast is Royal Reality Podcast from Cristo Rey OKC High School. Welcome, Miss Chaney. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I think that everyone was looking for this day because I have alumni, I have people telling me, when you're going to talk to Miss Chaney, when Miss Chaney is going to be there.
Wow.
Yes, you have a lot of followers, but I always have to tell them, wait a second, she's like my mom. So, Miss Chaney belongs to everyone. Let's put it like that, and I think that that's why we admire you and we love you so much because you are one of our founding members.
Thank
but
you.
Before we talk about it, can you tell us a little bit about you and what are your role and responsibilities at Cristo Rey?
I am the Dean of Academic Support and Accountability. My roles is basically student-faced. I take care of all discipline. I schedule tutoring. I handle plans in case students are absent or they fall behind in their grades. Anything that's dealing with the students is what I do.
Great. And I can say that you take care of our students, like you said, based on academic, discipline, and safety.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you do everything, Ms. Chaney. Can we say that?
I don't do everything. Mine is student-faced. And the other dean and the principal pretty much take care of the teacher-faced things as far as the curriculum and grade checks and things of that nature. So I'm student-faced and they're teacher-faced.
Okay, so that's what you're currently doing. But what about in 2018?
Okay, when I was employed in 2018, my background is special education, and I came on as the Dean of Academic Support only. There was no accountability part. The accountability part was added when I became responsible for discipline. And so when I came in 2018, I took care, which I still take care of, any students that come in on special ed paperwork. If it's an IEP, ISP, 504, anything dealing with students with special needs, I make sure that they get the accommodations that are due to them according to their disabilities. I took care of study halls, just pretty much mingling with the students, did everything I'm doing now except for the discipline.
And I have to say, personally, we feel really blessed to have you on board because, we always need that extra knowledge regarding special ed kids.
Yes, ma'am.
And especially for admissions, we always keep telling the parents we serve special ed kids. However, it's only for those students that can, be successful without accommodations or with minimum accommodation in this classroom.
With limited accommodations because we do not have a special ed teacher on staff.
Yes.
So these students have to be able to function successfully in the classroom with students that are non-disabled with some accommodations in order to be successful.
Yes, and I think that that's very important. So you are a parent out there that your student have an IEP or have a 504. Don't hesitate. Talk to us. We normally prefer to meet with the parents beforehand, before you start the admission process, so we can tell you what is the best advice for your student. Because at the end, what we care about is about the students and how they can be successfully, at school.
Absolutely. We don't want to set them up for failure. So if we can't accommodate them at Cristo Rey, and I don't feel that they can be successful, then we will let you know before you enroll.
Yes. And that's why I say we're blessed to have you, because I think that wisdom is always important, especially when we're talking about the student's education journey.
Absolutely.
But anyway, let's get to the next question. Some people don't know the meaning of founding member, because I have introduced you before. I remember to some of my guests when I say she's one of the founding members and they think that you found the school, that you started the school. Can you explain what it means, founding member?
To be a founding member just means that I was one of the staff members there when the doors opened at Cristo Rey for the first time. And there's 4 of us left. That's still,
4?
That's still employed at Cristo
Wow.
Rey from the beginning.
Like teachers or as teachers and staff members?
It's teachers. I'm the only administrator and a counselor. So we have 2 teachers, a counselor, and then myself.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Only 4 from 2018.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me explain a little bit about Cristo Rey. So we were founded in 2018. We have 2 graduating class.
Yes.
And so we're still small school. And you probably will talk about this, that we are kind of like a family, but we still want to expand our school and be able to serve more students in the community.
Yes.
So now from those years in 2018, like let's go, flashback. What are your best memories of that first year?
I think the thing that was most exciting to me was when we did the ribbon cutting when they opened the school. Just the idea of a brand new school coming to Oklahoma that can help a lot of students that may not have had that opportunity due to economic reasons. And so just seeing them flip the ribbon to open that school was probably the most exciting thing for me the first year.
How you were feeling that day?
Man, I can't even, words can't even really express the way I felt. I've been in education for 30 years. This is my 30th year, but my very first time being a founding member of a school. So it was a totally new experience, and just the mission of the school and being able to help those families that need that additional help and not letting their income hinder them from getting the type of education that they want.
Yes, and I think I saw a picture about it. I think I saw a picture of a ribbon cutting, like I was telling Miss Reynolds, who was our guest for the Spanish version of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
She was also talking about welcoming the students with pom-poms.
Yes.
And I saw the video, about it. I cannot imagine all the excitement. Like I can see in the video, like the kids were nervous, like what's going on here? Because normally that doesn't happen the first day of school.
Right.
In high school. In elementary, you can see a lot of crazy fun stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
But in high school, we don't see that. So I think that the kids, going through the pom-poms, and I saw the picture of the ribbon cutting. I think that must be probably very exciting times.
It was. And I think the way that Cristo Rey opened the school was unique. Because our first year, we only had freshmen. Then our second year, we had freshmen and sophomore. Then the next year, freshmen, sophomore, juniors. And then our fourth year, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. So every year was just kind of a new beginning.
A new beginning. How many students were the first year? How many freshmen?
I think we started out with 156, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
and
wow.
I think the ending class when they graduated, I don't remember how many we had.
Well, that's okay. But 156, that's a good number for the first year.
Yes.
Any other great memories from that first year?
It was building the family community is what it was. We really built that community of family at Cristo Rey that first year, and just continued it on. So basically,
when they were hiring you, when they were recruiting you,
they didn't recruit me, actually. Way it's unique how I found Cristo Rey. I actually found Cristo Rey. My son graduated in 2022 from a public high school. And so the founding principal had a high school night.
Okay.
And at my son's middle school. And I was like, Cristo Rey, I've been around for a long time. I've never heard of a Cristo Rey. So I went over to talk to him. And when he gave me the information about the mission of the school and how it's set up for middle to low income families to get a religious-based college preparatory experience in high school, I was like, hey, I was currently a principal at a private school, but was looking to remove myself as a principal so that I can really spend time with my son his last 4 years of formal schooling for high school. And he's real active in football, so not having to be responsible for everything. So I was looking at kind of scaling back the responsibilities of where I was. And so I asked if they had any positions open. He gave me his card, told me to give him a call, did the interview.
Well, so I guess it was meant to be, because I was planning to ask you, when they were recruiting you, do you hesitate for a moment saying, hey, this is a new school, I don't know what I'm doing?
Now, that was the exciting part of it.
Really?
Me. Yeah.
How cool.
That was the exciting part for me.
Yeah, because
the fact it was brand new.
Exactly. Yes. And probably you will tell me, like Ms. Reynolds, it was exciting just to be part of starting a new school in a different type of building, because it was not in a regular school building. It was at OSU OKC campus.
Right.
So I imagine that the excitement was different and probably stronger than the hesitation or the doubts or the fears.
And the other part of that is, although it was a brand new school,
being
part of a network where there's other Cristo Rey. So there is a connection beyond our building.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because for me, as the admissions and recruitment director, it's also exciting to be part of a network, because you connect with other 38 schools across the nation. Mm-hmm. And I have been fortunate to be here, not even a year, but I've been able to meet other directors, either in the annual meeting for leadership or in the annual meeting for admissions directors. And I think that support system, it's very important. Like, it's true. I have a family here in Cristo Rey, and I'm blessed that you are part of that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, just having another directors in different states, and then we go through the same challenge, success or struggles, it's a good feeling,
And I think it's a plus for the students as well, because as they graduate, if they end up in a city where there's another Cristo Rey, it's like an automatic, you can go and get that additional help because you're an alumni of a Cristo Rey school. So I just think that aspect of it is really cool.
Yep, you're right. I'm pretty sure that actually my goddaughter, who is not in Cristo Rey, but she said that in her college over there in Maryland, she have seen Cristo Rey students, I guess from, around that area, and also in her work, there is Cristo Rey student workers. So she recognized, like when I told her I work in Cristo Rey, she's like, oh, yes, I know what is Cristo Rey. Even though she doesn't know Cristo Rey OKC, still, she connect Cristo Rey network.
It's a connection.
It is a connection. But now let's talk about the biggest strength of our school. In your opinion, being an educator for 30 plus years, can we say
just
that?
30.
Just 30. Okay, yeah. Being an educator with 30 years of experience, what do you think is the biggest strength of our school?
I think the biggest strength of Cristo Rey OKC Catholic High School is the support systems that we have set up for the students. We have a math interventionist, a reading interventionist. We have 2 mental health counselors. We have where the teachers tutor 1 day a week, so students have the opportunity to go to tutoring 2 to 3 times a week. We have the college counselors who make sure that they assist the students to and through college. So it's not like they graduate from Cristo Rey and it's like, good luck in your college career. They actually follow those students and make sure and check in on them and make sure things are okay. So I really feel like that's the strength of Cristo Rey, is the resources and the support system that we have set up for the students to succeed.
And I will agree with that. And I'm pretty sure that other people that are part of Cristo Rey will say the same, because like you remember, we have 2 alumni in the previous season of our Royal Reality podcast, and they talk about it. They talk about the support system. They talk about our teacher that helped them through high school. They talk about the college counseling that, by the way, for me, I think is the best college counseling team in the whole network.
Absolutely.
And they talk about that, and Miss Gupta, coming to them, or a phone call from Miss Catalina, or Jerome visiting the school. Yes. So I think that's that's one of the strengths of our school, that support system, not only during the school years, but also outside of the school, when they're in college, but also outside of the school, during the weekdays or the weekends. I heard from students say, hey, I have contact my teacher by email, or I have contact my teacher to say, hey, I need support, and I stay in the tutoring. I know that sometimes they don't like to stay after school, for tutoring, but at least they have that resource there.
Yeah, that opportunity.
And that opportunity. Absolutely. And then for math or reading interventionists. I think that parents are always worried because they come with a weak foundation on math or reading from the public system. So most of our parents are worried about like how they're going to be successful in high school. And I think that having that resource there available for the kids is important.
Absolutely. So if they want to succeed, they can succeed at Cristo, right? We have the resources, and even with our families, like you said, I've been there since the beginning. So some of the students that we have, it's the second child that's coming through. And so we have that connection with the family. And I get emails from parents from time to time. Even some of them may message me on Facebook if they don't, just to get in contact with me if something's going on. And sometimes they ask us to help them even beyond the school building. If something's going on, they want us to keep an eye on it. So like I said before, we really have a family community at Cristo Rey.
And that's another strength. Besides the support system, we have a family community. Yes. I know that Ms. Reynolds talk about it. I talk about it in other episodes, before. And I think that that's what it makes us different from other schools here in Oklahoma City. Any other strengths that you see that make us different than other schools?
Well, of course, it would be our CWSP program. The students really look forward to going to work every day, and it builds their experience in the workforce. It makes them more confident when they get ready to leave. And some of our students have been blessed now that we've had 2 graduating classes. I think one of the most awesome things that I experienced this particular year is that we had a student that graduated in the class of 2022 at one of our big companies here in the IT department. And we have what we call draft day for our freshmen coming in after they do their summer success, and they complete that. They earn their blazers and their ties that they will wear to work. Mm-hmm. And that particular student was able to come and put the blazer on the freshman as a graduated Cristo Rey alumni for the company that he's now working for now that he's graduated.
I think I know who you're talking about. And
we had 2 of them.
Yeah.
We had 2 of them.
Yeah, but
year.
You say IT. So. Yeah. But that was a very emotional day. And I have seen alumni, like you say, 2 alumni the day of draft day. And just to see that's creating a legacy.
Absolutely.
And I think that our alumni feel important. Mm-hmm. They makes more meaningful the whole draft ceremony. And for those families that don't know about our corporate work study program, just to give you like a brief description, our student goes to work once day a week.
Yes.
And a total of 5 days a week per month. Our students are always exciting about that part.
Absolutely.
I have never heard about like, I don't like to go to work.
Absolutely.
No, it's the opposite. They enjoy going to work, but most importantly, they like to be treated as an adult.
Yes.
And as a coworker.
Yes.
They don't want to be treated as a student work.
Right.
They want to be treated as another person, part of the personnel. And then a lot of our corporate partners will say that they are very successful employees.
Yes.
And they're very, very talented. One of the partners told me, I see our regular employees in the lunchroom, then I see Cristo Rey students, and they behave better. Our employees are in the cell phone, they're not talking. And then we see our Cristo Rey students and they're interacting with each other. They are not in their cell phone, they're not falling asleep. So I think that's good for our students because they're having that reality check in some way because, they're having a real job, but at the same time, they're preparing them for their future and who knows for their future employment.
Right. And then one other strength I would say that I found out after we've had 2 graduating classes and talking to some of the alumni, if they end up on the same campus of another alumni, they make points to meet weekly, usually for lunch or dinner or just to hang out. So again, that's that family community that we established at Cristo Rey that goes beyond.
True. I heard from one of our alumni. I was so blessed and happy to hear that in UCO.
Okay.
She came from UCO. She said that they meet once a week.
And I mean, that's some of the ones out of state as well. So that family community that we established at Cristo Rey expands when they graduate and go off to college.
Exactly. And then we have students also now in the University of Notre Dame. So I imagine that they're also hanging out together in that beautiful campus.
And so that gives them a sense of family and community, even though they're away from home. They have someone that they can relate to and they're not feeling so alone. And sometimes that's the issue with students that go off to college.
Yes. And you just talk about something important. Most of our students are first college generation. So definitely having that connection and that support system is crucial for them.
Absolutely.
So now let's talk about the challenge for our school. So what do you think has been the biggest challenge for Cristo Rey OKC?
Our biggest challenge has been not having a permanent place as home. We were the first 4 years.
Yes.
5 years.
5 years.
We're number 6.
Yes.
First 5 years at OSU OKC. After our second year, we kind of outgrew the main building, which we kind of knew that was temporary when we came in. And so they had to allow us to use a floor of a building that was adjacent to the building that we were in. So trying to monitor students and things of that nature in between 2 buildings and our high schools, that was a bit of a challenge. Now that we've moved to our new location in Del City and our actual building that was a school has made it better, but just wanting that permanent spot to where when they graduate, they know that this is the place that they can come back to year after year, knowing that we're there. And then the only other challenge I would say is just trying to get the word out that Cristo Rey is actually in Oklahoma City. I think a lot of people don't know that the school is there. And so just getting the word out locally that we're there and what we have to offer, and then adding diversity to the school.
Yes. And I will agree with you as well. I think that having our own location is going to be very important. Now we're in Del City. Hopefully
That will be our home.
That will be our home. But if not, if you are, one of those people that would like to sponsor us, or
you can donate an entire building to us if you like.
Exactly. Why not? You never know. Like they say, like, let's claim it to the world. We'll claim it to the world and the universe. And moreover, most importantly to God, that we find our permanent home so we won't continue serving families in Oklahoma City or beyond. Yes. Because we have families that come from different districts.
Yes.
That's something that I want to encourage to the family. You can drive your student to our building. You can come from anywhere because most of our families are used to the idea of a public school and we don't operate like that. Anyone can come to our school.
Anywhere.
And from anywhere. We have students from different parts of the Oklahoma City metro area. So and beyond, like I said. So that's something that we want to welcome any family. And like you just said, we just want to spread out the word about that Cristo Rey exists, that what is our mission, why we're here. We're already in year number 6, and we would love to continue beyond year number 6 and more.
Very unique school. I think that you would really enjoy it. Like I said, if we have anybody that's willing to donate a building, donate money towards the building, we would love for you to help us in that endeavor. But that's what I would say the biggest challenge is for Cristo Rey.
Because we want that our students, like you say, come back and visit in a permanent location or just expand, like you said, building. Another area in the current building that we have, because we want to continue serving more students. And we want, right now we have a gym, what is great. But I think we need a chapel. For me, I know that's the last question, but how do you see Cristo Rey? I want to have a chapel. I feel that it makes it very special when we have our chapel now as UOKC.
Absolutely. It's a sacred place.
It is a sacred place. And a lot of our students, regardless of their religion, they find that place peaceful.
Right.
And they are used to that routine.
Because God's everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're Catholic or not. But you have a space just for students to be able to concentrate on their faith or go pray for that test that maybe they didn't study for. It's just, it's a good spot for them to have.
Yes. And I know that I enjoy in every Friday to set up, because they told me that every class are in charge of setting it up or, clean up every Friday for Mass. But definitely they would like to have a permanent chapel as well. Like they dream with the gym, and now they have a gym and they have a cafeteria. I think that it would be nice just to have our own location and the students feel comfortable, that they still feel like home. But again, even though we didn't have the same building 5 years ago and now, they still feel a sense of family and community.
Yeah, because it's kind of like if your family moves into a new home, it's still family. So we moved into a new location, but we're still family. So it still puts us together no matter where we are. But it's important that we get a permanent location, because normally high schools have 5-year, 10-year reunions. We wanted to be in a place before our first graduating class has their 5-year.
And I will agree with you also in the other part of your answer, that about like everybody needs to know about Cristo Rey. So I will encourage everyone that is watching this episode to please check our Facebook, where you find out the most updated picture of any event, activities, and etc. And as well, check our website. We have a YouTube channel. So if you want to watch any of the previous episodes, you just need to check our website and our YouTube channel for Cristo Rey OKC.
And I'm excited because for the first time, we have an esports team, and I happen to be the coach.
Oh, you didn't talk about, okay, go ahead and talk about esports.
We'll have our first tournament on tomorrow, and we'll play against different schools in the state. But for those students who are interested in esports and you're a gamer, there's money out there for scholarships at different schools. So excited to add the esports to Cristo Rey this year.
I'm so excited that you are the sponsor and making this happen and possible, and exposing our kids to whatever is current out there. So now let's talk about what do you enjoy the most about our school?
The students.
What do you enjoy about the students? I'm so curious. I want to hear that.
I just like to talk to them in the hallways, learn about their individual lives, them just sharing with me the things that they're involved in, what they like to do, what their plans are in the future, just having that type of interaction with them. And although I'm the main disciplinarian, you can discipline students with respect. And that's what I do. So we still have those conversations. And even when they make those mistakes, it's like, all right, so you made a bad decision. This is the consequence that's come with it, but you could move on and learn from this.
Yes.
So how are you going to handle this differently? So it's just not a matter of you did this, It's talking through it, making them understand what we're going to do next, how they can do things differently. So just interacting with them, listening to their future plans and what they're excited about, just being involved with the students. I'm here for the students.
And I love that about you, because I have love and respect about you regarding the relationship that you have with our student, the love and the passion and the dedication that I can see that you do every day with them. You know, I haven't been there a year, but since day one, you're very welcoming. That's why I call you my mom for those people. But I think that Miss Chaney belongs to everyone. And I think that you are very supportive, not only with the students and families, but also with faculty and staff members.
Yes.
And we can see that. We can feel it. We can breathe it. I don't know how to say it. I see in the halls, people like to talk to you. The students like to talk to you. I know the freshmen, they get scared.
Until they get to know me.
Yes, until they get to know you. I know they're scared at the beginning. And I try to tell them, me too. I will be scared of Chaney. I will be scared of her. But at the same time, I think it's also the respect that they have for you, and then how consistent you are and fair with the rules.
Have to be. That's the only way that it can work, is to have the consistency. Because if not, then you run into the favoritism, the possible discrimination. So my thing is, if it's a policy, if it's in a handbook, it doesn't matter who it is. I'm going to follow those policies and those handbooks in order to be fair.
Yes. And one more thing that I will say about you that one of the alumni students said is that you do not give up in a student. You are there anytime for the student. You won't give up. No. You push the student and you say, hey, keep going.
Yes. And sometimes I get that personal push from me to where I have to pull them in one-on-one and us talk about those things. So that's the love that I have for the students, not allowing them to give up, because it's not about giving up. I mean, you can get knocked down, but dust yourself off, push on, try again. And
our students deserve another chance. And I think that if we are compassionate between each other and we try to understand that as an adults, we have good days, bad days.
Right.
What about our students? I think that we should be treating them the same way. Yes. They don't have perfect life. Nobody have a perfect life. They have issues at home. Absolutely. And it's our job to understand them and support them so they can be successful and happy.
And give them that grace. Yes. Give them that grace. And I do talk to students sometimes about, okay, so today you're having a bad day. I give you that. But within that bad day, how are we going to work through to where you're going to be able to get those things done? I've had students sometimes in the past that have said, Ms. Chaney, can I just work in your office? Because I'm just not there today. And I would meet with the teachers, get their work, things of that nature. But we have to respect them as people and know that just as adults have bad days, they have bad days as well. Just as we would want someone to give us grace, we need to give the students grace as well.
Wonderful what you just said. I think that we need probably another episode to continue talking to you about our students and our school. But how do you see the school in the next 3 to 5 years?
I see it growing, and growing. That's what I'm praying for. That's what I see. I see more diversity. I just see it that it's going to be a school that's on the move.
Amen. And I want the same. I want the same, that our school continue growing, serving more kids and families in the community.
Yes.
That more people know about who we are, that are more corporates that support our mission and vision, more donors, because we rely on a lot of them, and we are thankful for all our current donors and corporate partners, because we're making an impact in our students' life. And I see the same growing. That's one of my dreams.
And one of the students that spoke at our celebration of Royals, he is going into the profession of law. And he said that one of the things he wants to do is stay here in Oklahoma and give back to Cristo Rey because of what Cristo Rey gave to him. And I think that we will find more of our alumni doing those things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then, your final advice for our current students, potential students, current families. You look at the cameras, you can just talk to them.
Communicate. If you're running into an issue before things get too heavy, grades get down too low, communicate. Go talk to your teachers. Go get a plan. If you're having an issue with someone bothering you, go talk to an administrator or a teacher that you feel comfortable with. You must communicate in order for us to be able to help you. When you get to the college level, I always tell the students while they're at Cristo Rey, go talk to your professors. That's what they're there for. Your tuition is paying their salary. They have the tutoring there for you. So don't look at it as an embarrassment. If you need help, go, because those tutors are getting paid regardless if you're going or not. So communicating, reaching out, using the resources that are made available for you.
And I'm going to ask you this question that you've been asking a lot of our students. If I was a hesitant eighth grader that I'm not sure about coming to Cristo Rey, what will you tell me? How can you convince me? Or what will you say about Cristo Rey?
I would tell a student that is hesitant about coming to Cristo Rey is to give it a chance. Cristo Rey is very unique. We have the support systems in place to support you to where you can be successful both in high school as well as college. And the wealth of experience that you would have from our college work study program is just out of this world. I'm just amazed at the type of skills that the students develop, and you won't regret it. You won't regret it.
Thank you. Well, you already hear, Miss Chaney words and advice, words of wisdom. That's what I said. I just love how much passion you can share with us just through speaking here. And I hope that our audience can feel the same, because we are a dedicated group of people working for the best of our students. So like Miss Chaney said, come here, come to our school, ask the questions, send us an email, call. She already said communicate. It is very important. If you are a new student, if you are a current student, the same with potential families or current families, you have many ways to communicate with us and with different people in our building. Our admission application already open on September 1st. We already have one open house. The next open house is on November 11. One more time, our next open house is November 11. More or further details will come soon. And check our Facebook, check our website, and also check our YouTube channel for any of the previous episodes of Royal Reality Podcast, because the purpose of this podcast is just for us to provide you more information and resources to our families. If you want to learn more about our school, Cristo Rey OKC, just go ahead and check it out, our website, social media, and our podcast. It has been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Like I said, we need another episode. We need a part 2, because there's so many things that we can learn from you, from Ms. Reynolds, and from any of our founding members, because I want that you guys talk to our students and families about that feeling back on 2018 and how now in 2023, Cristo Rey is still alive.
And it's going to be alive.
Amen.
It's
yes,
going to be
definitely. I agree with you. Yes. So again, thank you so much for coming. Don't forget to watch this episode in our YouTube channel of Cristo Rey OKC or our website. And again, this is Monica Suyo, Director of Recruitment and Community Engagement. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.